I married my kind wife because I owed her family $10,000. I confessed this to her, but she just hugged me and said I was her life. Now, we're both crying after I told her I love her for the first time without forcing myself to say it. So, growing up, I was the usual jerk. My dad left me when I was around 6. My mom was abusive, and I was living in a dump with her. Life sucked like that. The best part was going to school. No, it was not the teachers. They also sucked. It was my friends who respected me and accepted me for who I am. I enjoyed socializing with them. They made my day. However, they were bullies. Now, I didn't do the bullying. I knew it happened, but I was fine as long as I didn't do it or was the victim. In comes this shy, scared, and nervous-looking girl in middle school. My girlfriends began to group up and bully her for almost a couple of weeks. I didn't care, and I wasn't going to take part or be the victim. I just wanted to finish school at the time. The bullying continued for the girl. She would cry, hide, and try to stay away from school as long as she could. When my friends locked her into a locker once, I stopped them. She used that opportunity to get to know me. When my friends skipped school, she would come and talk to me or sit near me at lunch. She would share her lunch with me since I had nothing. She helped me with my homework, which I had no idea about. And she began to pay for me, which I liked. In return, I stopped my friends from getting to her. I owed her that. As years went by, she invited me to dinner with her parents. We would hang out together, and she'd pay for everything. I liked her, but she loved me. As time went by, I got my driver's license at 17. The problem was that a car would cost a lot of money, and insurance for a young person like myself was expensive. So I asked her parents for the money, saying I would pay them back. I knew they would say no. They should have said no because everything would be so different if they had. But they said yes and bought me my very own car. After that moment, I realized that I had to take care of their daughter until I paid them back. I would drive her anywhere, everywhere, and we became closer and closer. She was so happy with me and always had a smile on her face when she saw me. It was her who kissed me first. She brought me to her church. She proposed to me. We got married, and I was her first. Tomorrow, we'll be celebrating our 10th anniversary. I still owe her parents for the car and my wife all the cash she gave me. I like her, but she loves me so much. I've never cheated on her or thought about it. Our lives are perfect, but I wish I could tell her I don't love her the way she loves me. I work a minimum wage job, and my wife is a teacher. We don't have kids. She loves me so much, but if I could take it all back, I would. This is my confession. Update 1. Today, I took my wife out to lunch for our anniversary. When I saw her cute face, I immediately felt different. This was due to the fact that my thread blew up with lots of advice yesterday night. It was the first time that I actually told her I loved her without forcing myself to say it. At first, I muttered it under my breath, and my wife asked what I had said. I tried a second time, and again, I couldn't speak up. Then I said it out loud for the third time. My wife smiled, and her face turned all pink. We remained quiet for a little while until she began to ask me about my day. We talked for a little while before we visited her parents. I told her parents that I would start paying them back for the car they had bought me when I was in my teens. They told me not to worry about it. They were happy I remembered and visited them even though it wasn't their anniversary. We talked for a couple of hours. When my wife and I returned home, I opened my laptop and asked her to look at my thread. We sat down together, and she read it. She began to cry while reading it and hugged me so tight. The last time I saw her cry was on our wedding night, and according to her, it was tears of joy. I told her that I realized I was treating her unfairly and wanted to be more loving toward her. I told her I loved her and that she was my life. She told me that I was her life, that I saved her from ending herself, and that without me, she wouldn't be happy. At this point, I was crying. My wife is currently sleeping. For the people who told me to pay back my debts and leave her, I have realized that I will stick by my wife like I had promised her 10 years ago. She is my life, and I don't want to have anyone by my side than her.